Let's be honest, green onions and chives spoil way faster than we'd like. You buy a fresh bunch, use a few, and before you know it, the rest turns slimy, limp, and unusable. I got so tired of watching my vibrant greens turn to mush that I decided to put every single storage hack out there to the test. I tried it all. And today, I'm going to share the absolute best methods that will keep your green onions and chives fresh, crisp, and ready to go for weeks, and in some cases, even months. We'll cover the best tricks for short-term storage, which will keep them crisp and perfect for salads and garnishes, and then we'll move on to the ultimate long-term hacks for having flavor-packed onions ready for any cooked dish you can dream up. Say goodbye to food waste and hello to a lot of savings. Before we get to the methods, it helps to know why these guys go bad so fast. Green onions and chives are mostly water, and when they're sitting unprotected in the fridge, that water evaporates, which is what makes them go limp. But if you trap them in that plastic produce bag from the store, the moisture they release has nowhere to go. That creates a swampy, slimy environment where bacteria just thrive. Thus, the secret to long-lasting freshness is finding that perfect balance by giving them just enough moisture to stay hydrated without totally drowning them. First things first, when you get your green onions home, remove any rubber bands or twist ties. These restrict airflow and cause bruising. Then, give them a quick inspection. You're looking for bunches that are firm with bright green tops that aren't flopping over. If you spot any broken, bruised, or slimy bits, just pull them off and toss them. Let's start with the first method, and this one is like giving your green onions a second life. Grab a tall, sturdy jar or glass that'll hold the onions up without tipping. A mason jar or even a regular drinking glass works great. Put the whole bunch of green onions, root end down, into the jar. Then pour in about 1 inch of cool water, just enough to cover those little roots. You don't want the water coming up too high, just covering the roots is perfect. Then, loosely drape a zip-top bag or plastic bag over the green tops. This creates a little humidity dome that keeps the tops from drying out in the cold fridge air. Then, place it in the refrigerator. Be sure to change the water every 2 or 3 days. This keeps everything fresh and stops any funky stuff from growing. Stored this way, your green onions can stay amazingly fresh for up to 3 weeks, and if the roots are still healthy, they'll even keep growing. If you're short on fridge space or the jar method feels like too much work, this swaddle technique is a fantastic alternative. It's my personal go-to for chives. Start with a paper towel and get it slightly damp. Lay the damp paper towel flat and place your green onions or chives on top. Now, just gently roll them up in the paper towel, then place them in a zip-top bag. While we do this, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you are enjoying this video so far. I share helpful food storage tips every week, and you may not want to miss out. Seal it loosely, leaving a little space for moisture to escape. And then place this in the crisper drawer of your refrigerator. The towel keeps humidity balanced, while the little airway prevents excess moisture buildup, so no slime. I'd recommend checking the towel every few days. If it feels dry, just give it another little spritz of water. With this trick, your green onions and chives will easily last 2, sometimes even 3 weeks, and stay remarkably fresh. When you've got a huge bunch from the garden, or you just couldn't resist a sale, the freezer is your best friend. This is the simplest, most direct way to freeze your herbs. After washing and thoroughly drying your green onions, just chop them to whatever size you like. You can keep the white and green parts separate if you use them differently in your cooking, but you don't have to. Once they're chopped, pack them into a freezer-safe airtight container or a zip-top bag. Seal it up, place it in the freezer, and that's it. Now you've got flavorful onions ready to go for months. The only slight drawback to this freezer method is that it's not ideal for smaller herbs like chives. Because of their fine texture, they tend to clump together and freeze into a solid, icy block, making it hard to grab just a small amount when you need it. So instead, we'll use the flash freeze method for chives. It keeps them loose, separate, and super easy to portion. Wash, dry, and chop. But instead of bagging them right away, spread the chopped pieces in a single layer on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Make sure they're not all piled on top of each other. Slide that baking sheet into the freezer for about an hour or two until the little pieces are frozen solid. Because they all froze individually, they won't stick together. Once they're frozen, you can pour all those loose, separate pieces into a freezer bag or container. Now, when you need a tablespoon for your eggs, you can just pour out the perfect amount. No ice pick necessary. This little extra step is a total game changer. Frozen this way, they'll easily last for at least 6 months with fantastic flavor. This last trick isn't just about storage, it's about regeneration. The next time you use green onions, don't throw away those white root ends. Instead, cut the onions about an inch or two above the roots. Use the green tops for your meal, and save the little white bulbs with the roots still attached. Place these root ends in a small jar, just like we did in the fridge method. Add enough water to cover the roots and set the jar on the counter or on a sunny windowsill. In just a few days, you will literally see new green shoots starting to grow out of the top. Just remember to change the water every couple of days to keep it fresh. You can let them grow right there in the water and just snip off the greens as you need them. They'll keep regrowing for a while. For even better results, you can eventually plant these sprouted roots in a small pot with some soil. That way, you'll have a perpetual harvest of fresh green onions right in your kitchen. So there you have it. My favorite road-tested methods to keep your green onions and chives fresh for the long haul. From the living bouquet in a jar to the genius no-clump freezer hack, you should never have to throw away a slimy bag of onions ever again. I'd love to hear from you. What's your go-to trick for storing herbs, or is there another food-saving hack you want me to tackle? Drop a comment down below. By taking just a few extra minutes for proper storage, you're not just cutting down on food waste, you're saving money and making sure you always have amazing, vibrant flavor right at your fingertips. If you found these tips helpful, do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up, and think about subscribing for more kitchen tips and tricks to make your life just a little bit easier. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.